Have you ever wondered who first set foot on the Emerald Isle, Ireland, according to ancient Irish mythology? Our story takes us back to northern Africa, where a woman named Ceasair had a prophetic dream, a dream of a great flood that would wipe out her people. Guided by the wisdom of her grandfather, an Egyptian priest, she started a venture like no other. Ceasair began building an ark, not just any ark, but a vessel that would carry the future of her people. Her call was answered by a unique crew, 3 times 50 women, each possessing skills and knowledge that would allow them to thrive in a new land. Standing beside them were 3 men, her father Bith, her brother Ladra, and a young man named Fintan Mac Bocra, who would later become Ceasair's husband. With her diverse crew, Ceasair set sail on a remarkable journey, crossing continents and seas, battling the elements, and losing 2 of their 3 ships along the way. Finally, after 7 grueling years at sea, Ceasair and her followers sight the coast of Ireland. The emerald green lands, untouched by human life, beckon them from afar. The anticipation is palpable. A collective sigh of relief is released as they approach their final destination. Upon reaching the harbor of Corca Dhuibhne in Kerry, Ceasair, ever the leader, is the first to step onto the land. With this bold stride, she etches her name into the annals of history as the first person to set foot on Ireland. Her husband, Fintan Mac Bocra, follows suit, becoming the first man to step onto this uncharted territory. One by one, the others disembark, except for Ladra, the pilot, who sustains a wound from an oar to his thigh. Their arrival, however joyous, heralds the onset of their first major challenge. The group of 3 men and 50 women must now face the task of populating this uninhabited land. They devise a plan to divide the women among the 3 men. Bith, being older and less virile, is assigned 16 women, while Fintan and Ladra are given 17 each. As they settle into their new life, the harsh realities set in. Bith, unable to cope with his responsibilities, passes away, marking the first death in Ireland. His women are then divided between Fintan and Ladra. But Ladra's wound proves to be fatal, and he too succumbs, leaving Fintan as the sole man among 50 women. The responsibility of populating Ireland now falls squarely on Fintan's shoulders. Overwhelmed by the task, he flees to the mountains, leaving a heartbroken Ceasair behind. Overcome by her love for Fintan, she dies of a broken heart, adding another layer of tragedy to their tale. But the joy of their safe arrival was short-lived, as they soon faced the harsh realities of their new life. Scene script. Tragedy was not far behind as Bith and Ladra met their ends, leaving Fintan as the sole man among 50 women. In the early days of their new life on the Emerald Isle, the group faced daunting challenges. Bith, already straining under the weight of his years, was tasked to father a new generation with 16 women. But the task proved too great, and Bith, unable to cope, tragically passed away. His demise marked the first death on Irish soil. Ladra, the skilled pilot who had guided them across treacherous seas, was still nursing an oar-inflicted wound. His injury, sustained during their landing, never quite healed. The strain of his additional responsibilities, coupled with his lingering injury, proved too much. Ladra too succumbed, leaving his mark as the second death in Ireland. Now the mantle of responsibility fell heavily on Fintan Mac Bocra. The young man found himself alone, the sole male among 50 women. The pressure was insurmountable. Fintan, overwhelmed by the expectations, chose flight over fight. He escaped into the rugged mountains of Ireland, leaving behind the women and the responsibilities that came with them. Among those left behind was Ceasair, the brave and visionary leader who had led them all to this strange new land. Her heart, once filled with dreams of a new beginning, broke. The love of her life had abandoned her and their people. Overwhelmed by heartache, Ceasair breathed her last, marking another tragic loss for the fledgling community. Yet, in the heart of tragedy, transformation took root. Fintan, the runaway, found refuge in a secluded cave. There, he embraced his destiny, becoming a shape-shifting shaman. He lived not just as a man, but as the animals of the land, surviving for an astonishing 5,000 years. Thus begins the tale of Ireland, a tale of survival, transformation, and the indomitable spirit of its first inhabitants.